Let's talk about the backyard pool. You know, it's supposed to be this sparkling blue oasis, right? But half the time it feels more like, well, a source of endless chores and just plain frustration. We're all after that perfect, inviting water. But man, keeping it that way can feel like a full-time job. So let's pull back the curtain and see how the pros make it look so darn easy. Does this look a little too familiar? One week the water's kind of cloudy, the next you're pretty sure you see some algae starting to creep in. And you're always listening to the equipment wondering, is that weird noise from the pump going to turn into a super expensive repair? I mean, those are the headaches that just suck all the fun out of owning a pool.
But what if, and hear me out, what if you could just get rid of all that uncertainty? What if you had the exact playbook the professionals use every single visit to get perfect results? Look, it's not about working harder, not at all. It's about working smarter, using a system that catches problems before they even have a chance to start.
So where does this pro playbook even begin? It starts the second they walk through the gate. The very first thing a professional does isn't grabbing a net or a bottle of chemicals. Nope. It's a quick, deliberate assessment, kind of like a diagnostic phase, to see what the pool is telling them before any of the real work gets going. And this whole assessment really just boils down to two simple phases that honestly, anyone can master. First up, you've got a quick visual scan of the pool and everything around it. And second, a really focused check-in on the equipment. You know, the heart and lungs of your entire pool system. Okay, this part is absolutely crucial for catching small issues before they blow up. When you check your equipment, you're basically a detective looking for clues. Is that pressure gauge reading higher than it should be? Well, that tells you the filter's getting clogged and water isn't flowing like it needs to. Is the pump making a new, weird noise? Or are you seeing bubbles in the pump basket? That could mean there's an air leak starving it for water. Seriously, this 5-minute check can save you hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars in repairs down the road.
All right, assessment's done. Now it's time to get our hands wet and start the deep clean. But this isn't just, randomly skimming and scrubbing. Professionals follow a very systematic, top-to-bottom approach. It's a method to the madness that makes sure absolutely nothing gets missed.
First things first, it starts with a full surface skim, and I really do mean the full surface. Don't just get the big leaves floating in the middle. A real pro always pays extra attention to the corners, behind the steps, and any of those little nooks and crannies where debris just loves to hide.
Next up, we scrub. A quick scrub along that tile line is going to prevent all that grimy buildup. And hey, here's a pro tip for you. Don't forget to give the inside of the skimmer throats a quick scrub too. It's a spot that's so easy to miss, and it's where all the oils and gunk tend to collect.
Then, of course, comes the vacuuming. The goal here is to cover the entire floor methodically. You got to think about it like you're mowing a lawn, right? You use these nice overlapping passes to make sure you get everything, especially on the steps, the benches, and any of those corner seats where dirt loves to settle.
And finally, we brush. This step is so key for preventing algae. You're going to want to brush the walls and the steps, always pushing any debris down towards that main drain at the bottom. And definitely pay extra attention to any shady spots in the pool. That's where algae loves to get its start. So after all that cleaning, you can bet your filter has been working overtime. Remember that pressure gauge we checked at the very beginning? If the PSI is running high, and we're talking usually 8 to 10 pounds higher than its clean starting pressure, well, it's time to clean that filter. This gets the water flowing properly again and makes your whole system way more efficient. Whether you do a backwash or a full cartridge clean just depends on what kind of filter you have.
Okay, now we're getting to what might just be the most important part of the entire visit, the water chemistry. This is the real science behind that safe, sparkling water we all want. I mean, you can have the cleanest pool on the block physically, but if that water isn't balanced, trust me, you're going to have problems.
Now, don't just look at this as a boring list of numbers. Think of it more like a recipe, where every single ingredient affects all the others. See, free chlorine is your sanitizer, right? But its power is directly controlled by the pH. If your pH is too high, it basically puts the chlorine to sleep, makes it lazy and totally ineffective. And alkalinity? That acts like a buffer to stop the pH from swinging all over the place. It's this delicate balancing act that makes sure your water is both safe and feels great to swim in.
And that brings us to a really crucial mindset shift. This is about moving from just reacting to problems to proactively managing your pool. Don't just test and treat for today. When you log your results every week, you start to see trends. Is your pH always creeping up? Is your pool suddenly demanding way more chlorine? Spotting these patterns lets you make these tiny, proactive adjustments before a real problem ever develops. It's a game changer.
All right, we're on the home stretch. The water is balanced, the pool is clean, but a pro isn't done yet. Not even close. This final phase is all about safety, double-checking your work, and leaving that entire pool area better and safer than you found it. This final sweep is completely non-negotiable. It means adding your chemicals carefully and one at a time. You never, ever mix them. You'll empty out the cleaner bag, make sure all the pump and skimmer lids are on tight, and do one last check to make sure the equipment is humming along smoothly. And the last thing you do, every single time? Lock the gate. Safety first, always.
And there you have it. That's it. That is the complete system, the playbook, that professionals use to guarantee perfect results week in and week out. It's a proven routine that prevents cloudy water, stops algae in its tracks, and heads off equipment failures. And the best part? Now, this exact playbook is available for you.
So the question I want to leave you with is this. Are you ready to stop just cleaning your pool like it's a chore
and instead step into the role of truly managing it. Because when you have the right system, you can spend way less time working on your pool and a whole lot more time enjoying that perfect, sparkling water you've always wanted.